Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan. Basically, today we are going to talk about the Formula World. That is basically part till 57 we have already discussed. And this is basically 58th number part. And here basically we are going to take little bit brief of the last few sessions and a little bit about the few words basically that basically directly going to connect to the Formula World and formula attributes formula attributes basically, for example, there are 1,000 attributes, so more than 1,000 balance sheets are there for each and every attributes basically, you can say. So we are going to discuss each and everything basically. Uh, few basically brief about the formula word and its attributes and everything basically, how basically what are that things basically contains in this formula word basically. First, we will see basically what subscription is. Basically, World Bank says that we do the we pay the power supply and pay the energies basically to the power companies and to the countries basically according to the subscription amount that is paid to the World Bank for the India country basically. So I'm basically in India, so I'm talking about the India country. So basically, India country pays certain amount for the subscription according to the requirement of the each and every city. Basically, you can say, and each and every city has certain requirements, and according to the requirements, basically the government tells that we want this subscription from the World Bank. Basically. So World Bank have around assume that it's around 12 to 13 subscription they have already created for different countries basically. So for different countries basically, if they have created, that means for India basically assume they have created some subscription basically. So according to the cities, according to the states, according to the countries demographic, city demographic areas, energies, the climates, the blood cells of the Indians, the environment of the India, the culture of the India, and each and everything basically has taken into picture, and then basically and according to the building structures, according to the infrastructure basically created for the office and for the residence areas, and the few basically tree structures, basically the nature structure basically you can say. According to that, each and every study basically the each and every structure basically of the India country of the land basically. Uh, the World Bank says that these all are the subscription for you. You can select any of the one according to your budget basically. So according to the budget decided by the set of groups, set of businessmen, set of political people, set of tax advisory people, the set of government departments group, and then basically the amount is basically paid to the World Bank basically. So World Bank basically says that we have got this amount from your side. So according to that, basically we have given you the subscription. So according to that, basically subscription are given to the country, and then basically the that data is allocated to the each and every cities basically according to the subscription amount paid basically we can say. So central has told that we want this much, this many power data and energy data for this all cities basically. So entire city information basically has passed to the World Bank, and according to that basically they gets the data, and according to that the energy gets generated. So this basically part we have already discussed in the sub, and then basically according to the few points basically we have discussed about the world banking sector basically. Banking sector says that we do the investment according to the product purchased by the software industry basically. So whatever industry or whatever amount the of the product basically they purchase, according to that basically they get the product basically. So in reverse order basically we can say like this: whatever product are created, that are basically created on the base of the tax structures, tax slab, and the amount of the salary which the software industry gets basically. So according to the salary, the tax amount slab are decided, and the um, budget basically are decided, and each and every investment basically plans are decided by the banks basically. So bank basically, for example, bank creates some high level products basically, very high level and very low level product. and according to that basis, basically salary structure is not there of the employees basically. Then basically what they will do? So like this, basically they first see the salary structure of each and every employees in the salary. So they have the data, basically they can easily get the data. So according to the data which they have got, they create the products basically. So experts are there, basically they have created already many products, and they just need to allocate the product basically for the current financial year. And then basically different banks basically they do the products investment according to the, and the bankers basically and the directors and the bank managers basically do the yeah, product advertising. And basically, so according to that basically the many software companies are selected, they do the product advertising, and like this basically the product are sold basically, you can say. According, that's why basically the salary structure are first calculated, and then according to the salary structure, and then basically the product are created not actually product are mostly created long before basically. Reason basically the investment which has to happen, that actually is very big plan basically, you can say. So the plans basically, the product structure basically, generally product structure that are already decided. So basically according to the investment basically, you can say, according to the investment the products are designed by the banking groups basically, you can say. You can say like this also. So like this basically banking groups have created products according to the investment, and according to the products basically the salary structure are decided, that also you can say. And according to the salary structure the products are designed basically, you can say. So like this basically you can say. And you can say like this also, that according to the investment basically going to happen, and need the money of the bank, need the money to the invest by the banking department basically. According to that basically they creates the product, and the salary structure are also decided, like this also you can say. So like this basically banking industry is very vast industry, you can say. There are big directors and the bank managers, and World Bank Group basically. Each and every group basically decides they sets the products, which products they need to create the for that which country basically, according to the country creation basically, you can say. That is basically other name is given as a GDP, which is given by the World Bank and other banks basically. They give the GDP, that basically your country have to create this much GDP. And according to that basically the investment is required basically. The source of group basically, that is one of the salary structure, and the investment done by the software engine software professionals, that is also one of the source of the investment for the country basically, you can say. That is basically GDP basically needs money. Without money basically you can't do anything. So basically they say that we have the set of source. In one of the sources basically software professionals basically, they do the investment. For example, in Mumbai they have done investment of 1 lakh crore. So like this basically the salary structure is already there basically. So according to that basically they have designed the entire product. Entire product was allocated to the banks, and banks basically had done that job. And then like this basically 1 lakh crore amount has been invested to the banking sector basically, to the products basically. And according to the products basically they have got the money, and then basically they invested the money to, they invested the products, they invested the money to the land basically, where basically they, for what purpose basically they have collected the money, and for what for which cities basically they have collected the money, and for which area basically they have collected the money. Like this basically the money is invested in the land basically. Whatever money basically gets from the investment side basically, for from the software professionals, they basically gets invested in the land side basically. Because each and every money whatever you get, banks gets basically, they do the investment. Otherwise basically if you will, they will not do the investment, then how they will be going to get the return basically. For example, I have taken previously, I have taken few examples of for example, there is one product basically 1 lakh crore has got the from this product, and the product was basically text box equal to thousand city has created. So in that thousand city basically there need some maintenance and lots of things need to create. For that basically they have invested 1 lakh crore rupees. to that particular land, and the product basically is going to generate 1 lakh product is going to generate the text box is going to generate oil, petrol, and the vegetables and the fruits basically. So according to that, basically investment rate is done, and the production is also done. Then the basically the retail group, basically corporate group, basically purchase the aim produce the oil, petrol, vegetables, and apple and fruits basically. They had done the production, and then basically they launched this entire product into the market basically, you can say. Then basically the market, retail industry basically, that are basically public, basically they purchase the products, and then basically again the money is given, returned back to the banks basically from set of sources basically, you can say. And then basically bank takes the commission of that amount, and like this basically investment is ongoing and still ongoing, and basically like this the entire investment has done, and like this the entire text box equal to 1,000 cities also created. Like this basically entire software industries, you can say entire industries, all controls basically, user controls basically, that are created, and the user controls are is equal to basically land creations, basically city creations. Like this text box example is a text box equal to 1,000 cities basically, we can say. Like this basically many creations has happened, and this is basically also a little bit about the banking sector. And now basically we will see a little bit about the government sector basically, how basically government say that um, we need money, we need money. So for that we have to do lots of stuff basically, you can say. They have set of source basically, that from this source basically they are going to get the money. And according to that basically the government have the list, to assume they have 1,000 sources basically within India and within outside India, with the chain of basically the hard work they have done. According to that, each and every, and the relationship basically with have with the government of the Indian government, they have the source of income basically. According to the source basically for the income basically for the Indian government, each and every data are there with the governments basically. So each and every parties basically have their own source basically, and according to that basically, um, each and every things are designed basically. So like this also you can say. And we have already taken like that, if any country sees if any India basically do the investment of the India is doing the investment in US, in UK, in London, in Ireland, in Dubai, in Sharjah, in Ajman. Basically, their peoples are also gets the job there. Basically, like this, for example, in India, basically Indian people, Indian government has invested some 1 lakh crore dollar in Dubai. Like this, basically, according to that 1 lakh dollar invested by the Indian government, according to that, basically they gives the employment also to the Indian people basically. Like this lots of stuff, barter system basically, you can say. Old time basically the barter system was there basically, you can say. Still basically there lots of countries do the relationship system. According to the relationship only the entire countries basically runs basically, you can say. This is basically one of the barter system that you can say, that Indian country has invested 1 lakh crore. So basically according to on the return basically, Dubai government basically told that we will give certain percentage of the employment employment to the certain percentage of job to the Indian nationality basically. So according to that basically they gets the job. Like this basically they are not doing any basically, you can say, but the relationship also is there. So basically the amount basically, the percentage of amount jobs basically they give to the Indian nationality people basically. Like this basically lots of things are there. So basically each and everything basically, anything happens, anything government is doing, then basically there are lots of hard work also done by the certain people basically, you can say. Like this basically many things are there. So basically here basically we are going to stop, and this is 58th number. In 59th number we are going to see a little bit more about the formula word.